Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 1. And we are going to start unit 10. Its title is The Goose That Laid Golden Eggs. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of grammar, I'm going to discuss with you about punctuation. Before this, I have already taught you about punctuation on page number 51 of your book. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. So let's learn further to identify and revise written work for spelling and punctuation. So our focus will be punctuation for this lecture. This is our today's SNO. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Al-Mulk, verse 14. Does he who created not know, while he is the subtle, the aware? Yes, my dear students, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Beta, who is our creator? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking, is it possible that Allah has created you and he doesn't know? He knows each and everything. That's why, beta, whatever we do, we should be afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should do whatever Allah asks us, Allah wants us to do. Right? This is what the message of this verse is. Now let's see. First, you tell me where we place a full stop and where do we use a question mark. What do you know about capitalization? Okay. These all concepts we have already studied. I hope you remember. Pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher and then come back. Yes, my dear students, I hope you have answered. So, we use full stop in sentences to end a sentence. What does it mean? Means this sentence ends and we put a full stop. How do we do it? For example, if we write sentences and we don't put full stop, it doesn't make any sense. Look at this. I am 7 years old. Can we read it? Can we understand it? That's why we need to put a full stop. Where I'm ending a sentence, I am 7 years old. So I need to put a full stop here. Next sentence is starting from here. I study in class 1. I like playing games. I like to eat an apple, full stop. Right? So this is how at the end of a sentence we place a full stop. I hope you remember. And the next thing is about question mark. This is how a question mark look like. And where do we use it? We use a question mark at the end of a question. That means when we ask or inquire about something. So whenever the way we speak, when we ask about something, what is your name? It's a question. So when I speak, it becomes a question. But how we show it in writing? We write this sentence and we place a question mark at the end of this sentence. It means we are asking about something. Where do we write it? Now this is a question. That's why I have to place a question mark. It means I'm asking, I'm inquiring about something, right? And where do we use capitalization? Remember, I have taught you 2 rules. The first one is the initial letter of the first word of a sentence must always be written in the capital form. Means when you are writing a sentence, the first letter, the initial letter of the first word, we always write it in capital like this. This is a book. Okay, it's a sentence and the first word is this and this T is the first letter. So it should always, whenever we are writing a sentence, the first word, the first letter should be capital, right? The next is I live in Lahore. So this I, because it is the first letter of this sentence, that's why it's capital, right? And I have taught you another rule. Do you remember? Did you tell that to your teacher? What was that? The particular naming words are also written in capital form. And particular naming word, remember, which refers specifically to a particular person, a place or thing. Remember, we have discussed. So when we write name of a particular person or a place, we always write it with capital letter, no matter wherever they are coming. If it's not the first letter of the word of the sentence, even then we write it with capital letter. How? Like this. I, so first letter is always capital, we have to write it capital. I live in Islamabad. Now you see, Islamabad is a particular naming word, it's a particular name, that's why it should be written with capital I. Do you understand? It's not the first word of the sentence, but still it's a particular name, that's why we write it with capital. So in this sentence we have used two capital, right? The next sentence is Qaid-e-Azam. Now this is a particular name, is our national hero. So Qaid-e-Azam is particular name and first word, that's why we have written it with capital letter, right? So this, all these rules we have already learned, we have just recalled it. So let's practice it through an activity. And what the activity is, teacher will divide class in pairs and teacher will write a sentence on board. Now teacher, you have to write it without capitalization and punctuations. So one student will correct it for capitalization and the other will correct it for punctuation marks. So in this way, students will work in pairs. So pause the video, enjoy this activity and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. It's time to practice it from your book. What you have to do, punctuate the given sentences by using correct capitalization, full stop and question mark. So these three, we just revise all the rules. So you have to apply these rules in these sentences. Read the sentence and correct it for capitalization, full stop and question mark. Be careful, wherever it's a question, you have to put a question mark. If it is a sentence, you have to place full stop and capitalization. You know the rules. So pause the video, complete this exercise and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. Now it's time for your homework. You will write 5 sentences using the learned punctuation rules. And this is a worksheet, my dear fellow teachers. This worksheet's lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. And my dear children, what you are supposed to do, here are sentences. You have to apply the punctuation and capitalization to correct these sentences. So what we have learned today, we learned to identify and revise written work for spelling and punctuation. Are we done with it? Yes. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning and take very good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.